Animals and biology are integral to understanding the complexity of life on Earth. Here's a comprehensive exploration of animals in zoology, and more in taxonomy, which is the classification and naming of animals. Taxonomy is the branch of biology that deals with identifying, naming, and classifying organisms. It organizes life into a hierarchical system, moving from broad categories to very specific ones. The domain is a group of organisms based on fundamental cellular structures. Among these, there is archaea, which are primitive single-celled organisms without a nucleus. It includes methanogens, halophiles. Then, we have bacteria, that is a single-celled organisms with no nucleus, but distinct from archaea. This includes gram-positive bacteria, cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, and more, and eukarya, organisms with cells containing a nucleus, including animals, plants, fungi, and protists. Kingdom subdivides domains based on major differences in life forms. This englobe general distinctions like autotrophic, plants, and heterotrophic, animals. Here is sums: Animalia, animals; Plantae, plants; fungi, protista; miscellaneous eukaryotes, Monera, archaea, and bacteria. Autotrophs are organisms that can produce their own food. They use sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create energy-rich organic compounds, like glucose, through photosynthesis. They contain chlorophyll, a pigment essential for capturing light energy, and produce oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis. Green plants, algae, and some bacteria like cyanobacteria are autotrophs. Heterotrophs are organisms that cannot produce their own food and must rely on consuming other organisms for energy. They eat plants, animals, or other organisms, and break down the consumed material through digestion to obtain nutrients and energy. They depend on autotrophs directly or indirectly for food and consume oxygen during respiration and produce carbon dioxide as a byproduct. Animals, fungi, and most bacteria are heterotrophs. Autotrophs make their own food using sunlight or chemical energy, while heterotrophs consume other organisms for energy. Heterotrophs depend on autotrophs for energy, but autotrophs are self-sufficient. Phylum and plural, phyla are groups of organisms within a kingdom by body plan and organization. Body structure or major physiological traits are used for this classification. Chordata are animals with a spinal cord like mammals, birds. Arthropoda are insects, spiders, and crustaceans with exoskeletons. Mollusca are animals with soft bodies, like squids and snails. Class is a subdivision of phylum, grouping organisms with similar characteristics. Class focus on more specific similarities like reproduction and metabolic processes. Mammalia, mammals, are warm-blooded, have hair, have milk production. Aves, birds, have feathers, beaks, and flight. Reptilia, reptiles, are cold-blooded, have scaly skin. Order is a narrow classification to finer distinctions that operates in behavioral and anatomical similarities. Carnivora, carnivores, are meat-eating mammals like lions and wolves. Primates are monkeys, apes, and humans. Lepidoptera are butterflies and moths. Family is the group's closely related organisms within an order. They have shared characteristics among a smaller group. Felidae, cats, are lions, tigers, and domestic cats and more. Canidae, dogs, are wolves, foxes, and domestic dogs. Genus are group species that are closely related and share a common ancestor. Type genetic and structural similarities determines this. Panthera are big cats like lions, Panthera leo, and tigers, Panthera tigris. Homo are humans, Homo sapiens, and extinct relatives like Homo habilis. Species are the most specific and fundamental unit of classification. This is organisms capable of interbreeding and producing fertile offspring. Homo sapiens, humans, Panthera tigris, tiger, Canis lupus, wolf, are species classification. There is a mnemonic to remember the taxonomic levels. Dear King Philip came over for good soup. Domain. Kingdom. Phylum. Class. Order. Family. Genus. Species. Human, Homo sapiens. Taxonomic levels, domain, eukarya. Organisms with cells containing a nucleus. Kingdom, Animalia. Multicellular organisms that are heterotrophic, consume organic material for energy. Phylum, Chordata. Organisms with a notochord, dorsal nerve cord, and pharyngeal slits at some stage of life. Class, Mammalia. Warm-blooded vertebrates with hair and mammary glands. Order, Primates. Mammals with large brains, forward-facing eyes, and complex social behaviors. Family, Hominidae. Great apes, including humans, gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutans. Genus, Homo. Humans and their closest extinct relatives, such as Homo erectus. Species, Homo sapiens. Modern humans, characterized by bipedalism and highly developed cognitive abilities. Domestic dog, Canis lupus familiaris. Taxonomic levels, domain, eukarya. Organisms with cells containing a nucleus. Kingdom, Animalia. Multicellular, heterotrophic organisms. Phylum, Chordata. Organisms with a spinal cord. Class, Mammalia. Vertebrates with fur and milk production. Order, Carnivora. Meat-eating mammals with sharp teeth and claws. Family, Canidae. Dog-like carnivores, including wolves, foxes, and jackals. Genus, Canis. Includes wolves, domestic dogs, and coyotes. Species, Canis lupus. The gray wolf, from which domestic dogs are descended. Subspecies, Canis lupus familiaris, the domestic dog, adapted to life alongside humans. Bengal tiger, Panthera tigris. Taxonomic levels, domain, eukarya. Organisms with cells containing a nucleus. Kingdom, Animalia. Multicellular organisms that consume organic material for energy. Phylum, Chordata. Vertebrates with a spinal cord. Class, Mammalia. Warm-blooded vertebrates with fur and mammary glands. Order, Carnivora. Predators with adaptations for hunting, such as sharp claws and teeth. Family, Felidae. Cat-like carnivores, including lions, leopards, and domestic cats. Genus, Panthera. Big cats capable of roaring, such as lions and tigers. Species, Panthera tigris, the tiger, a large striped cat native to Asia. Subspecies, Panthera tigris. The Bengal tiger, native to India and surrounding regions. Rose, Rosa indica. Taxonomic levels, domain, eukarya. Organisms with cells containing a nucleus. Kingdom, Plantae. Multicellular, photosynthetic organisms with cell walls made of cellulose. Phylum, Magnoliophyta. Flowering plants, angiosperms. Class, Magnoliopsida. Plants with two seed leaves, dicots. Order, Rosales. Includes roses, strawberries, and apples. Family, Rosaceae. The rose family, known for its ornamental and edible species. Genus, Rosa. Shrubs with woody stems and showy flowers. Species, Rosa indica. The Indian rose, commonly cultivated for its beauty and fragrance. Emperor penguin, Aptenidites fursteri. Taxonomic levels, domain, eukarya. Organisms with cells containing a nucleus. Kingdom, Animalia. Multicellular, heterotrophic organisms. Phylum, Chordata. Vertebrates with a spinal cord. Class, Aves. Birds, characterized by feathers and laying eggs. Order, Spheniciformes. Penguins, flightless seabirds adapted to life in the water. Family, Sphenicidae. Includes all modern penguins. Genus, Aptenidites. The largest penguins, including the emperor and king penguins. Species, Aptenidites fursteri, the emperor penguin, known for its size and ability to survive Antarctic winters. Morphology, the study of an organism's form and structure, has long been a central element in taxonomy. This approach focuses on visible characteristics, body shape, size, skeletal structures, and the arrangement of parts, allowing scientists to group organisms into meaningful categories. For instance, the presence of a vertebral column, defined by a backbone, distinguishes vertebrates from invertebrates, creating two broad groups that contain vast biodiversity. Whether looking at the wings of a bat or the fins of a dolphin, morphologists observe patterns that reflect both adaptation and shared ancestry. In a way, the physical form of an organism serves as a living fossil, holding clues to its evolutionary journey. The study of genetics brings a revolutionary dimension to taxonomy. Modern genetics allows scientists to examine the DNA sequences of organisms, revealing deeper, often invisible connections between species. By analyzing gene sequences and chromosomal structures, we can understand the genetic underpinnings that drive differences in physical traits. For example, genetic analysis has reshaped our understanding of the relationship between humans and other primates. Through comparative genomics, we now know that humans and chimpanzees share about 98% of their DNA, highlighting a close evolutionary link. Advances like these demonstrate how molecular tools illuminate evolutionary relationships and aid in more accurate classification. While morphology and genetics focus on structure, physiology concerns how organisms function. This branch of biology examines metabolic processes, growth patterns, and reproductive strategies, helping to categorize organisms by their ability to survive and thrive in diverse environments. For example, mammals are categorized as warm-blooded or endothermic organisms, meaning they can regulate their body temperature internally. This distinguishes them from reptiles, which are cold-blooded and depend on external heat sources. Understanding physiological processes allows taxonomists to see beyond external traits and into the very mechanisms that sustain life. Behavioral traits add yet another layer to our understanding of taxonomy. Observing how organisms interact with each other and their environment reveals important ecological roles and evolutionary adaptations. These behaviors are key to species classification, especially in groups where external features may be similar but social interactions or mating strategies differ. For instance, in birds, the songs they sing often define species boundaries. The distinctive calls of the common blackbird and the European robin are not only used for communication but also serve as markers for identification. Similarly, complex social structures, such as those seen in ants and bees, are vital for understanding species diversity within the insect kingdom. Ecology studies how organisms interact with their environment and other living organisms. Understanding the ecological niche of a species, its habitat, role in the food chain, and environmental requirements, greatly informs its classification. Animals, for example, can be grouped by their feeding habits, herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, and their specific habitats, marine, terrestrial, or freshwater. Take the example of the African elephant, classified within the herbivores, yet its ecological impact goes far beyond its diet. Elephants shape ecosystems by uprooting trees, creating waterholes, and influencing the plant diversity of savannas. Such ecological insights not only define the animal's place in nature but also underscore their evolutionary importance. Biomes are large ecological areas defined by their climate, flora, and fauna, and each has distinct characteristics based on environmental conditions such as temperature, precipitation, and sunlight. Tundra climate is cold, dry, and windy with long winters and short, cool summers found near the poles, Arctic tundra, or at high altitudes, alpine tundra. About fauna and flora, limited vegetation, such as mosses, lichens, and low shrubs, are present. Animals like Arctic foxes, polar bears, and caribou are adapted to survive extreme cold. Taiga, boreal forest, climate is cold, with long winters and short summers. Snow is common, and temperatures can drop significantly. This biome is found in northern regions, such as Canada, Russia, and Scandinavia. The fauna and flora is dominated by coniferous trees, e.g. pines, spruces, firs. Mammals like moose, bears, wolves, and a variety of bird species are common. Temperate forest climate is 4 distinct seasons, with warm summers and cold winters. Precipitation is moderate throughout the year. The location of the biome is North America, Europe, and parts of Asia. About the biome: fauna and flora: broadleaf trees like oaks, maples, and beeches dominate. Common animals include deer, foxes, rabbits, and a variety of birds. These forests support a rich diversity of plant and animal life. Tropical rainforest biome have a warm year-round with high humidity and heavy rainfall climate with no distinct seasons. The biome is found near the equator in places like the Amazon basin, Central Africa, and Southeast Asia. About the fauna and flora: there is extremely high biodiversity. Towering trees, vines, ferns, and a variety of flowers dominate. The rainforest is home to countless species of insects, birds, e.g. toucans, primates, and large mammals like jaguars and elephants. Grassland, prairie, savanna, steppe: climate varies from temperate to tropical, but generally has hot summers and cold winters, with moderate to low precipitation. That is found in North America, prairies, Africa, savannas, South America, pampas, and Asia, steppes. Concerning fauna and flora, this is dominated by grasses with few trees. Herbivores like bison, antelope, zebras, and elephants, as well as predators like lions and wolves, are characteristic of this biome. Desert climate is very hot and dry, with extreme temperature fluctuations between day and night. Rainfall is minimal, less than 10 inches per year. The biome is located in regions like the Sahara, the Arabian Desert, the Sonoran Desert, and the Australian outback. The fauna and flora: inglobe cacti, succulents, and drought-resistant plants dominate. Animals like camels, snakes, lizards, and nocturnal mammals are adapted to survive harsh conditions. Temperate grassland, prairie, climate comprehend hot summers and cold winters with moderate rainfall that is found in North America, prairies, South America, pampas, and parts of Asia, steppes. Fauna and flora is mainly grasses, with few trees or shrubs. The prairie supports large herbivores like bison, antelope, and prairie dogs, and carnivores like wolves and foxes. Mediterranean climate is hot, with dry summers and mild, wet winters. This biome is located in regions like Southern California, the Mediterranean basin, parts of Australia, and central Chile. For the fauna and flora, it's drought-resistant plants such as shrubs, grasses, and trees like olives and oaks. Wildlife includes goats, rabbits, coyotes, and a variety of reptiles and birds. Chaparral biome have a hot, dry summers with mild, wet winters climate. It is found in coastal areas with a Mediterranean climate, such as parts of California, South Australia, and the Mediterranean basin. About the fauna and flora: the landscape is dominated by dense shrubs and small trees. Common animals include deer, rabbits, mountain lions, and a variety of birds and reptiles. Marine biome climate varies depending on the region but is generally more stable and predictable compared to land-based biomes. It covers about 70% of Earth's surface, including oceans, coral reefs, and estuaries. Concerning fauna and flora, there is rich biodiversity, including fish, whales, dolphins, plankton, coral reefs, and seaweed. Marine ecosystems are essential to regulating the planet's climate and carbon cycles. Freshwater biome have a climate that varies widely depending on the location, but it generally has a more stable temperature than terrestrial biomes. It includes lakes, rivers, streams, ponds, and wetlands. About fauna and flora: species adapted to freshwater include aquatic plants, e.g., lilies, cattails, and animals like fish, salmon, trout, amphibians, frogs, salamanders, and insects. Oceanic, deep ocean, climate is very cold and dark, with stable temperatures and pressure at great depths. It is found in the deeper parts of oceans. Flora and fauna of this biome is home to strange and unique creatures adapted to extreme conditions, including bioluminescent organisms, deep-sea fish, and invertebrates. The deep ocean is still relatively unexplored. Wetland climate varies from tropical to temperate, but generally wet with periodic flooding. This is found in regions like marshes, swamps, and bogs. fauna and flora of wetlands support a variety of plant species like cattails, reeds, and mangroves, along with animals such as amphibians, birds e.g. herons, and insects e.g. mosquitoes. Evolutionary biology examines how species have adapted and evolved over time, and it is perhaps the most defining principle in taxonomy. Fossil records, genetic data, and phylogenetic trees show how species have diversified and adapted to their environments through natural selection. The process of evolutionary divergence, when one species evolves into multiple, distinct species, forms the foundation of modern classification systems. The fossil record of dinosaurs, for example, provides critical clues about the relationship between ancient reptiles and modern birds. The discovery of Archaeopteryx, a transitional fossil with both bird and reptilian features, helped prove the theory of evolution and reshape taxonomic classifications in the process. Systematics goes beyond basic taxonomy by focusing on the relationships between organisms based on their evolutionary history. Through systematics, biologists create phylogenetic trees that trace the lineage of species and show how they are related to each other. This discipline helps us understand life's branching tree and the deep evolutionary ties that bind all living organisms together. For example, the development of cladistics, an approach that groups organisms based on shared derived traits, has refined our understanding of the evolutionary tree. By comparing traits like feathers in birds or mammary glands in mammals, cladistics builds a more accurate picture of how species are related. Phylogenetics is the study of evolutionary relationships among species, using both genetic and morphological data. By constructing phylogenetic trees, scientists map the evolutionary paths that link all life on Earth. The molecular data provided by DNA sequencing has revolutionized phylogenetics, enabling the classification of organisms with unprecedented precision. Consider the relationship between humans, chimpanzees, and gorillas. Phylogenetic analysis shows that humans and chimpanzees share a more recent common ancestor, while gorillas branched off earlier. These insights have refined the way we classify primates and understand their evolutionary relationships. Biogeography studies the distribution of species across the planet, helping us understand how organisms are influenced by geography. The study of biogeography reveals how historical and environmental factors shape the geographic ranges of species and explain why similar species inhabit different continents or isolated islands. For example, marsupials are largely confined to Australia, but some, like the opossum, are found in the Americas. This biogeographical distribution speaks to ancient landmasses and migration patterns, highlighting the evolutionary forces that shaped animal classification across regions. Paleontology, the study of fossils, is crucial to understanding the evolutionary history of life on Earth. Fossils provide direct evidence of ancient life forms, offering insights into how species have changed and adapted over millions of years. This branch of science plays a pivotal role in refining taxonomic classifications by offering snapshots of organisms that no longer exist. Fossils like those of the woolly mammoth or the saber-toothed tiger have enriched our understanding of extinct species, their behaviors, and their place in the evolutionary tree. These relics of the past are instrumental in understanding both the extinction and evolution of life on Earth. Taxonomy is an ever-evolving field, continuously refined through advances in genetics, ecology, and evolutionary biology. It is a vital framework that organizes the astonishing diversity of life, helping us understand not only the structure of living organisms but also their relationships, adaptations, and historical legacies. As science progresses, taxonomy remains at the heart of our efforts to understand the natural world and the interconnectedness of all living things.